So hello, how are you today? I'm so glad to have you back here. If this is your first time on my channel, please subscribe, or if you just come and watch and go, repent today and subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button down there and then click on the bell button down there so that you receive instant notifications the moment I put out a new episode. And trust me, my episodes are fun. You would enjoy being here, so why just pass and go? Just stay with me, okay? I love that. Thank you. My name is Emanuela Ike, and I am your host on My Sister Say What podcast. And here we discuss society matters that affect us gender-wise, relationship, marriage, belief systems, and general lifestyle. So you would love it here. So how are you? I hope you're fine. You know, I like to ask how you're doing because I just want to give out hope to everybody out there that there's going to be a better future, much better future than whatever it is we're facing now. And God will help us to not look like what we're going through. We will get there. We will cross over all the hurdles, and it's all going to be past story. So no matter how the country is today, no matter the situation, we just can't lose hope. And by God's grace, we'll all be better for it. That's my prayer. And that's why I always ask you how you're doing. Alrighty. So I came across a post on Facebook last time, and it was asking women what you do to your husband to calm them down when they are mad at you. And there were so many posts, just women. Everybody was talking about how they go about it and get their husbands to calm down and all and listen and everything. And then there was another post that the OP then said, alright, we've heard from women what they do to calm their husbands down. Okay, now men, what do you do to calm your wife down when they are vexing? Brethren, men left the group chat as in the comment section was empty. In fact, the people commenting were even women. Like, I don't understand. What is it? Men just left the group chat. And then, of course, those that managed to comment were like, look, men are not used to apologizing. That's why you're not seeing them talking. They will just leave the house. In fact, it's the woman that will console herself with and the children will console her. Like, when they are tired of being angry, they will stop. And really, Nigerian men, can't you do better? What's the meaning of your culture does not support you apologizing to your wife to make her calm down when she's mad at you? Now, wow. I thought I'd finished hearing the last of this kind of matter. Anyway, that's by the way. Today I want to talk about, there's something bugging me that I would like to discuss. So I made a comment on a post in a private group, which I wouldn't mention because the group is private. And this post garnered over 100 likes within a 12-hour window. 100 plus, like, I think last time I just checked, it was already over 120. And it really touched me because I've always had this in mind. I always knew this was a situation, but I didn't realize that some people were just waiting for someone to say it so that they could agree. They could say, yeah, so someone is actually feeling this way. So I'm going to read out the comment to you and we are going to elaborate on this. Let me get it. It's on my system right here. Okay, now this is my comment. I said, this situation is mostly because most married women in Nigeria don't have nor keep friends. The men always keep the guys. You know the guys. They go watch football, they go drink at the bar, but the women, they're either at work or at home. Women are discouraged to keep friends because friends will lead them astray. That's why married women, you see most of them don't have friends. So you realize that if the husband is not paying her quality attention, she's miserable. And this is a bad lifestyle. Many women live this lifestyle and it's bad. And I ended it with saying, may more women find happiness doing activities, engaging in activities away from their husbands. And it didn't get to 12 hours. I had over 100 likes on this comment. Do you know what this signifies? It means that so many women are going through this. So many women can relate. So many married women they are lonely. This comment was on a post that by a woman who actually talked about how lonely she got during her marriage before she took the reins and engaged in activities away from her husband. And gradually she came around, and then with time the man eventually came around as well, which is great for her that the man eventually came around, because sometimes the man wouldn't come around and the rift has been created and you can only make yourself happy and think of what to do with your life, because continuing depending on him for happiness will just lead you into depression. And this woman was depressed for years before she actually took that decision to move away from expecting happiness from this man and create her own happiness. So here is what bothers me. Why is it that in Nigeria, married women are not encouraged to keep friends? In fact, the moment your friends get married, you would notice that there will be this distance and you would hardly call them regularly, talk to them regularly. Seeing them becomes like they become like the blue moon that you get to see once in a while. Sometimes you don't even get to see them. And go easy. So our cultural and societal expectations limit women from networking with people, from seeing people, from getting close to people outside. They expect that your entire life now becomes about your husband and your children. You get to do nothing of your own. You're either working or you're at home or you're in the market. You understand? And this is because we grew up in a society that pits women against women. So it's as if every woman is competing for a husband, and once the man picks you, the other person is supposed to cut all of you out, because if she keeps her gates open to you guys, you're going to snatch her husband from her. And it's as if she lives her life like you live your life trying to mark your boundaries all the time, protecting your boundaries. Why the man you're even protecting is out there doing stuff that you don't know about. And then eventually realize that you're probably marrying yourself, or your entire expectations are burdened on this man who's supposed to make you happy. And when you have to depend on someone else for happiness, it's a risk that you shouldn't take, because you're going to have your happiness hanging by a thread, because he's human, he's not God, and he's bound to fail at some point. And if you're not lucky, you shouldn't just live your life hoping to be lucky. So there's no need of asking if you're saying if you're not lucky or if you're lucky. Living life based on luck is a very risky way to live life. I hope you're following me. And then again, aside from encouraging her to cut away from her female friends, because you see her friends are singles, and they're already telling you single ladies shouldn't be friends with you. They're going to snatch your husband. They're going to lead you astray. They're going to make you start seeing men and all that. And also, by the time you go out to hang with them, there'll be guys in the midst, and you could fall into temptation and you start cheating on your husband and stuff like that. These are all those expectations, all those pressures that keep married women in their home, confined in a space where they're expecting happiness from only one person, who is the husband. And when I look at it this way, I see that this is exactly why men cheat. Because if you're saying that if a woman starts to go out, she will start to cheat, that means men are cheating because they are allowed to go out. So does it mean that we should lock men up as well so they stop cheating? Is that what it means? Because that's why cheating has become very mainstream for men. And then when we hear of a married woman cheating, it's still like news, like, how will she be cheating? There's still this shock reaction that comes with it. But if it's a man, that's regular. Nothing is. So is it because they are always out that they get to take a pass for cheating? Should we start locking them into, if you can recognize that this is the reason that a married woman keeping friends is a reason for her to cheat, that means that is why men are cheating, because they always have the guys around. They're always going out. They're always they're always the one to call home. Darling, I can't come back early this night, and Should the woman be able to do that? Honey, I can't come back early this night. The community meeting will emerge, and it's really, when you look at it, if your schedules are so tight, your life is so busy, you're at work and you're really thinking of what the family is going to eat at night, and then you're rushing from work to the market, you're buying stuff, you're rushing from the market to home to go start cooking, and then you're refrigerating everything, you're cleaning up after the kids, and then you're serving dinner for the man who, after seeing the guys come home, right? And then you get some short sleep at night. That is if you don't get to, have sex with your husband, and then you get to wake up early and continue the routine. What time would you actually have to even consider leaving the marriage? Like, your energy is drained, your schedules are tight, you don't get to see the outside world and see what you're even missing out on, just a little bit of relaxation and all that. So how would you even consider leaving the marriage? So these are all the strategic, cultural, societal expectations that manage to keep women married. Because I think that there is this goal, this target of to keep women married against all odds, just keep women married, and it's not even as if they are encouraging the men to actually help to keep these women married, but no. So when I went through that post and I left that comment, and then I saw the reactions, it really got to me. And the replies that followed also, they were replying, I think, oh my God. So I think if women can relate so much to this situation, why do you still, keep yourself friendless in marriage? So here's what I think. Women need to start making time for themselves. Women need to start engaging in activities that is just for their own happiness, for their own relaxation, away from their husbands. Give these men some space. They're already giving you space by being away all the time, and yet you're home all the time waiting on them. There are a lot of things you could engage on that. And always, that kind of lifestyle also gets you so obsessed with the children. And then you realize that when the children are getting older and they're leaving home, you suddenly feel alone. Suddenly you have this empty void in the house. You come home and you don't see anybody. Your children are not there. Of course, you're used to your husband not being there. And then it glares at you just how lonely you are. And then the next thing, your children are getting married and you're already planning to go visit. And not just visit, to go live with them, because you're so used to living with them. You don't have anything else you've been doing. You've been engaging yourself with over the years. So I think women should actually start building their own activities away from their husband. And then there's something else. This, should I call it perception, societal perception that women with house helps are the lazy ones, and or bringing nannies coming and going are lazy. It's weird that this kind of perception exists when it's already obvious everything a woman is burdened with, but still this perception exists, which goes forward to buttress the point I'm saying, that the idea is to just keep women so occupied that they don't think of anything else apart from what's happening in their home. And these house helps and nannies, these are job creations, and it's unfortunate that in our country we don't have these organized service structures that actually regulate house helps and nannies, where you can go rent or employ a house help from the organization, which should have done their basic checkup on these people before signing them up with the organization, so that when you get such service, the organization is responsible for every losses that will accrue from you employing this nanny or this house help. It's more like, an agency. That's what I should call it, an agency, not organization. And some countries have these as government agencies, which are really nice. And it will even give more prestige to these low income jobs or they should be called unskilled workers, right? Yeah. So that you don't underpay them at will, and then they don't easily come to your home and destroy things or steal things or steal your kids or all of that. And then again, The paradox is that it's obvious that we don't have these agencies to make it easier for women to get help at home. And then we still go ahead and discourage men from giving the help. Because if a married woman who has kids cannot have enough time for herself, and you're saying that if she gets help outside, that she's lazy or that she's exposing her home to outsiders that could, cause harm, then at the same time, the husbands are not even encouraged to take over. You realize that when your friends get married, when there's a reunion, you know how we do school reunions, or when there is a party somewhere, or birthday party, or even another friend is getting married, you realize that these ones that have already gotten married before cannot attend. They tell you nobody to stay with the kids. That thing used to do me somehow. It's not fair. It's not fair. If a man has reunion or any important event he wants to attend, he will go. Sometimes they travel. Sometimes these men travel for their school reunion. Sometimes they travel for small meetings, for their friends' wedding parties and all what's not. But then the wife's always saying there's no one to stay with the kids. Does it mean that you cannot ask your husband to stay with the kids, so you go for your school reunion, or so you travel for your friend's wedding? And these are friends that even attended your own wedding, and you can't go anymore. So if you had a group of friends, at the last one, as you guys are getting married, the presence at the parties are reducing. The last to get married will probably not see any of you. And it's really not fair that you just assume that this is normal. Oh, I'm married now. Nobody to stay with the children. It sounds like prestige when you're saying it. But a few years down the line, you realize that you are alone. You were just alone. And you look left, you look right. You can't see your friends anymore because you already distanced yourself from them. And you thought it was okay. You thought it was normal. And because you've lived like that for long, you no longer know how to tell your husband that I don't want to live like this again. I feel uncomfortable. I feel lonely. I feel depressed. I feel like I've not got anybody. And he's going to look at you like, when did this one start? Because you already accepted such pattern. And because you've accepted it, you get to live it out. And that is really not cool. You realize that these women, most times, they get depressed. They can suffer depression. They can suffer anxiety. They can start nagging. That's why you see men saying, my wife is nagging. Why wouldn't she nag? Why would she nag? She's just acting out. And you realize that she starts aging. And the husband is still looking boyish, sweet and looking, keeping it cool for the side chicks out there. And this woman is aging. And then when the kids start leaving home, she's basically alone. So I always believe that marriage should be a team. Marriage should be a team, and each person should be cut some slack. If you've got an event coming up and you need to go, the other person can stay with the kids and you go. When it's the other person's turn, you stay with the kids, let her go. It shouldn't just be one-sided. You can't be the one allowed to, live life while the other person is just existing. I think it's very uncool and it's very unfair. And if over 100 people, 120 people and counting can voice out this way, relating to my comments in the way they did, then this is a really big problem, and women should take it up. Women should grow out of that place where it's only about the husband and start thinking of their own lives. Start engaging in activities, join organizations, join dance clubs, play tennis, go swimming clubs, book clubs, piano, classes, and even female football if you're the football type. So if you can get a group of friends in at least 3 different or 4 different clubs of related activities, why will you be lonely and depressed when your husband doesn't want to give you attention? Do you understand? So if you have activities going up, at least he would know you have a schedule. Baby, where are you today? Okay, where are you going to be tomorrow? Tomorrow I have my book club meeting. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to be here. Okay, and you discuss your schedule. He discusses his schedule. You know how to meet up and take care of the kids, and then when it's evening, everybody's home. So I think these are a lot of elements that build life and also encourage relationship to be happy for as long as it lasts. And that's the most important thing. Quality over quantity. And I believe that where the quality is high, the quantity automatically increases. Like, the quality here is directly proportional to the quantity. So if your marriage is happy, there is no reason why it's going to end in divorce, right? But if your marriage is not happy, if you're lonely and depressed, the only two things left. Either you end up getting divorced, or you shut it out and leave it out. Live out your life just depressed like that and be answering long marriage, 50 years. Why 30 out of the 50 was full of unhappiness? Oof. May it not be my portion. May it not be your own portion too. So work towards your happiness in everything you do. Work towards your happiness and work towards being a team. Alrighty. So what do you think about this? And do you have any contributions? Do you think it's over the top? Or do you think it's just on point? Or do you have instances to cite for us? I'd really love to have it in the comment section. So reply me with your opinions and let's see what you got. Thank you so much once again for hanging with me on this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode for me. And see you again on the next one. Thank you. To join in on my podcast conversations, drop your opinions in the comments. They may agree with mine, they may contradict, but your comments may be featured in a next episode. Catch my podcast on the go by listening in on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Simply search for Sister Say What on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe and leave me a great review on iTunes. Talk to you again. Bye.